How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some mysterious clips that have left the experts baffled. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content, just like this. The scariest thing about window shopping is often the hairy price tags. However, according to this video from YouTube channel The Hidden Underbelly 2.0, shoppers who look at one window display in Chihuahua, Mexico might find themselves worried about a little more than just maxing out their credit cards. In this video, we see two young women on a sunny street in Mexico. As they look into a shop front window, something eerie happens. Watch. If you look closely at the mannequin's eyes, you can see them shift slightly. These women are not the first to be terrified by this mannequin. She's known as La Pascualita, and she's been gracing the shop's windows since March of 1930. Locals were instantly abuzz with gossip about this mannequin, shocked at how lifelike it appears. Her hands, in particular, struck locals as uncanny, as traces of veins could be seen through the dewy skin. The gossip reached a fever pitch when people began talking about how much the mannequin resembled the shop owner's daughter, the daughter who had only recently passed away from the bite of a black widow spider not long before she was supposed to be married. Rumours began to circulate speculating that La Pascualita wasn't a mannequin at all, but rather the pristinely embalmed body of the shop owner's daughter. It wasn't long before passers-by began reporting that they had seen the mannequin moving, particularly its eyes. Because of the rumours about the mannequin's grisly origins, many now believe that the spirit of the shop owner's daughter is still attached to the shop, watching people pass by through the mannequin's eyes. So is this uncanny mannequin really the well-preserved body of a bride who died too young, or is it simply a loving tribute from a grieving father? Watch the clip again and come to your own conclusions. Aw, Struth! It's nearly Halloween. If only Slapped Ham had some fresh merch to spruce up the spooky holiday season. Fresh merch. Cryptid All-Stars, a seance gone wrong, and you looking in the mirror in 40 years after realizing your job has stolen your youthful ambition. Fresh. Buy it now.
The clock is ticking.
Antiquing is a popular pastime, and often trips to antique stores can lead to some truly amazing finds. When YouTuber Muna Bruzon saw something at an antique fair that they just had to have, they had no idea what they were getting themselves into. In 2017, this YouTuber visited an antique fair and instantly spotted an old doll. The doll's eyes seemed to follow them everywhere they went. Intrigued, they purchased the doll and took it home, hoping to prove that it was more than just their imagination. They immediately began recording footage in hopes of capturing proof of the doll's supernatural nature. The toy didn't disappoint. If we watch that again, we can see the doll's head turn to look at them for several seconds before turning away. The owner's hands are nowhere near the doll's head when it turns. They set the doll down and continue to examine it, this time moving its head manually to see if there's any logical explanation for how the head was able to turn on its own. As the owner manipulates the head, the doll's eerily lifelike eyes appear to move to stay focused on the person holding it. Some dolls are made with weighted eyelids that can open and close on their own, but there's no easy explanation for how its eyes could move completely on their own. The person who purchased this doll felt like it was calling out to them in the store by following them with its eyes. The video footage seems to confirm this suspicion. So is this doll really haunted? Is it somehow possessed, perhaps by the spirit of a former owner? Or is there another way to explain the footage? Let me know your theories in the comment section down below. This video from the YouTube channel Obscura shows yet another mannequin doing something that should be physically impossible. This video was recorded on a cell phone camera by someone waiting outside a strip mall on a grey, rainy day. It's unclear what made them pull out their camera in the first place, but they seem to be clearly focused on a nearby storefront featuring two mannequins. Watch what they caught. As you can see, the seated mannequin's head turns to face the camera. Even without a face, it seems to be staring straight at the person in the car. Viewers of this video have come up with several theories about what's going on. Some viewers suspect a simple trick of the eye, theorizing that a raindrop sliding down the car's window could have created a strange shadow or a refraction that made it seem as if the mannequin's head had moved. Others think that the video was simply a setup, suggesting that a person in a white bodysuit was posing as a mannequin inside of the shop. Still, others are certain that the mannequin is somehow haunted or possessed. No matter what's going on here, the video is undoubtedly creepy. Anyone would be unnerved by a blank, featureless face turning to stare at them directly through the hazy rain. So is this mannequin haunted, or is it just a trick of the light? Tell us what you think down below. YouTuber Smith doesn't really believe in ghosts, so when the doll that they kept on their old chase began acting strangely, they were at a loss for an explanation. The YouTuber and their wife were out browsing a flea market when they came across this old composition doll. Prior to the 1940s, these dolls were made of a composite of sawdust, glue, and other materials such as cornstarch, resin, or wood flour to increase their durability. You're much more likely to find one of these dolls sitting around an old flea market than you are to spot a more fragile porcelain doll. This particular doll isn't in great shape, with some of the material peeling off its legs. This isn't uncommon for a composite doll, though they were marketed as unbreakable. The composite material began to deteriorate over time. Despite its less than pristine condition, the couple happily took their new friend home and made it comfortable on their old chase. That's when things started to get freaky. Take a look. Much to their surprise, the doll began moving on its own, slowly raising its right arm into the air above its head. These old dolls had no mechanical parts, so there's no simple explanation for how it could be moving. With absolutely no information about this specific doll, they had no idea what to think. The doll's new owner turned to the internet for answers. Some skeptics think that the video could be a hoax. Because of the way the camera and the doll are placed, it wouldn't be too hard for an accomplice to stand off screen, moving the doll's arm with an invisible piece of wire or string. However, others are certain that this creepy old doll is haunted. This is an older clip and no new information has surfaced since filming, so for now this mystery remains unsolved. Ventriloquist Andy Gross is certainly used to being surrounded by dummies that others might find a little creepy. In this video that he shared to his YouTube channel, Andy Gross Live, he has his first taste of being freaked out by his own dummies. In the video's introduction, Andy states that he's noticed the dummies in a certain case in his home changing position while he's away.
Lately, when I've been coming back for some of my shows, these guys have changed positions. Now, I don't mean just a little bit. I mean like this guy here with the black hat. His head was actually turned all the way around last week when I came home. The guy on the end in the white right there, he was laying down inside the case.
He suspects that his wife or one of his children might be trying to mess with him, so he decides to set up a hidden camera during his next trip away to hopefully catch the culprit in the act. What he sees on the footage, though, is not at all what he expected. Upon returning home, he notices that one of the dummies' heads seems to have moved. He reviews the footage, expecting to see a member of the household sneaking into the room and moving the doll. Unfortunately, he sees something much creepier.
Just gets me every time. I mean, so weird and creepy.
As you can see, the dummy's head moves completely on its own.
Right?
The way it moves couldn't have been due to gravity alone, and Andy states that he's checked the doll's mechanism closely, but nothing about it seems unusual.
Ooh, this is kind of strange. Here we go. Hi. Just a normal puppet.
So what could have caused this dummy to move on its own? Ventriloquists typically give their dummies personalities during their acts, but seeing one move without its owner nearby is certainly unnerving. Of course, many viewers have suspected that it's all just a prank. After all, ventriloquists put on shows to entertain. However, Andy has maintained that this isn't a setup and that he was quite freaked out by the footage. Andy ends the video stating that he plans to capture more secret footage, and if it happens again, he's going to move house. Probably a good idea. Before we take a look at a creepy doll moving around a graveyard, remember to hit that subscribe button, then tickle that little bell icon there and turn on all channel notifications. That way you'll be in the loop every time we drop our scary and mysterious videos. Also, a completely free way to support the channel is to pulverize that upward facing thumb there. In June 2021, paranormal investigators Lalo Escalante decided to search a local cemetery in Culiacan, Mexico. They had heard rumors of strange things happening on the property. Locals often report hearing screams and spot unusual shadowy figures walking through the property late at night. The most unsettling story revolves around a supposed haunted doll that sits in one of the graves. It's said to come alive and move among the tombstones. Under the glow of a full moon, the investigators explore the graveyard.
Güey, es que es luna llena, güey. Es el día que los brujos su trabajo lo hacen efectivo. Es ese día, güey.
For the first 10 minutes or so, the YouTubers appear on edge. They claim to hear strange noises coming from all directions of the cemetery.
¿Alguien ahí? ¿Qué ves? ¿Estás viendo algo? No se cansa de ver nada. Nomás se cansa de ver la luna llena, güey.
After exploring for some time, they come across a mausoleum and look inside to find a tall doll with lengthy blonde hair standing next to a large cross and flowers.
Güey. Ay, la madre. Estoy cagado, güey. Estoy que le recagado, güey.
What happens next is sure to give you the chills. Watch.
Cerrado, amigos. Eso estaba así. No mames. No mames. Creí que la abrió ella, güey. Pero qué pedo, güey. No mames. Esto se abrió sola, cabrón. No mames. La muñeca se movió, Chicho. Chicho se movió, güey, la muñeca, güey. La madre, güey. La madre, güey. Ay, güey. A la mierda.
As you can see, the doll appears to move inside the sealed mausoleum.
La muñeca se movió, Chicho. Chicho se movió con la muñeca, güey. La madre, güey.
There's no doubt about it, viewers have been terrified by this clip. There seems to be no way that the doll could move without the explanation of something otherworldly. To make this incident even scarier, a month prior, a separate group of urban explorers known as Urbex MX captured the exact same doll moving on its own. Take a look.
Ay, mamacita, se movió, güey. Se movió, güey. Se movió, güey. Se movió, güey.
This incident was captured during a live stream. Hundreds of viewers watched in real time as the doll moved inside the mausoleum.
Ay, mamacita, se movió, güey. Se movió, güey. Se movió, güey. Se movió, güey.
So is this graveyard home to restless spirits? And is this doll really possessed by some unknown entity? According to these two separate accounts, it would appear so.
Ay, mamacita, se movió, güey. Se movió, güey. Se movió, güey.
Now, if you want to see some more mysterious clips, then check out that link on the top there. Otherwise, we have enormous curated paranormal playlists right there. Now, if you have your own scary photos or videos you want to submit, head to our Slapped Ham subreddit. There's a link in the description box below. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.